Acknowledge the presence of our Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Melinda Fontaine. We also have with us our Assistant Education Officer for Early Childhood Education, Ms. Vida George. I see two principals from our primary school, Mr. Alvin and Gallery from the Super Primary School, and Mr. Francis John Lewis from the Caleb John Laura Primary School in St. Joseph. Importantly, we have with us today the Laron family, represented by Mrs. Graham Laron, her daughter and her husband, Mr. Laron, and they represent the Dominica Health and Education Initiative, DAHEI, a not-for-profit charitable organization with a mission to elevate the health and education standards of Dominica. It's a charitable organization based in Boston, Massachusetts in the United States, and they are represented in Dominica by the Laron family. Today they are here to make presentations, as you can see, in computers and other stationary items to our primary schools, to our early childhood education unit, if you will, and of course to the Ministry of Education. So to start us off, I'll invite Mrs. Joycelyn Graham Laron, who will give us an overview of DAHEI, what they're about, and what this presentation today is all about. Mrs. Laron.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our presentation this morning. Good morning to our Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Melinda Fontaine, Public Relations Specialist of the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, Ms. Dion Durand, Mr. Timothy Lavenier, Mrs. Vida George, invited guests, member of the media, representatives of the different schools on island, welcome. Today we are here to present donations from DAHEI to primary schools around Dominica and early childhood. DAHEI, which stands for Dominica Health and Education Initiative, is a non-profit organization whose aim is to assess the health and education aspect of Dominica. This organization was founded by Dr. Anne-Marie Laron Richards and Farrell Laron Hutchinson, both Dominicans, along with other members based in the US and Dominica. The following primary schools will receive one desktop computer: Wharton Waven, Caleb John Laura Primary, Colby Street, Superior and Grande Primary Schools, and one laptop to the Bright Beginning Center Preschool. A similar donation will be made to 15 other primary schools in the upcoming week. In collaboration with Ms. Vida George, some office supplies will be distributed to a few early childhood centers as well. To date, DAHEI has delivered medical supplies to the Rosal Health Center and as well the lab of the Princess Margaret Hospital. We, the members of DAHEI, are very elated to give such donations. We do hope that this will assist in the development of the schools. And now we'll have a message from the DAHEI founder, Mrs. Anne-Marie Laron Richards. A word on behalf of the founders of DAHEI, Anne-Marie Laron Richards and Farrell Laron Hutchinson. The idea for DAHEI started in the kitchen of the founders during a family gathering. Today marks a milestone in our accomplishment as we work to fulfill our mission and dream of elevating the health and education sector in Dominica. We are very grateful to the government of Dominica and the many ministry personnel who have worked with us. Philsia Corporation, Irving Guy of Easy Barriers, and all of our donors and supporters. Without them, without their efforts and belief in our mission, we could not bring these services to you today. Though we may not be there to witness this ceremony, know that we are there in spirit. Today marks a milestone in our accomplishments as we work to fulfill our mission and dream of elevating the health and education sector in Dominica, to support the needs of our fellow Dominicans. To learn more about our organization and support our cause, we invite you to visit us at www.dahei.org. If you are part of a local group or organization and would like our support, please submit the online proposal on our website for review by our board. Thanks again to everyone who has made today a reality. Peace and health. Dr. Anne-Marie Lauren Richards and Mrs. Carol Lauren Hutchinson.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Laron. And if you're wondering, DAHEI is DAHEI.org. I now call on the Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Belinda Fontaine, who will deliver a few remarks on behalf of the ministry.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning to the Laron family, the principals, members of the. With great pleasure that I'm standing here this morning. It is with great pleasure that I'm standing here this morning because it is always a good feeling when corporate citizens and non-profit organizations give back to education. And I say give back to education because school belongs to the community. Everyone here, everybody goes to school. And school is what puts you on the path to success because that's where you gain your education. That's where you gain the knowledge, the skills, the attitude to make you the kind of person that you really want to be and that you should be. And so when corporate citizens and non-profit organizations, non-governmental organizations give back to education, this is very important because government alone, the education system alone, the Ministry of Education alone cannot be. School is about the government, yes, but also community. And community means everybody who can participate and who can play a part in ensuring that the kids who are at school have all the resources that they need so that they can succeed. And so I really want to thank the Laron family, the Laron family, as the representative for DAHEI, for making sure that these things, all these materials, got to Dominica, cleared it, and at the point where we can now distribute to our schools. And we encourage other corporate citizens or the non-governmental organizations to talk with the Ministry of Education in terms of what we need and what they can give us. And I have to tell you that when we receive supplies, especially equipment, we have to look at the specifications of those equipment because they have to conform, especially computers, to certain specifications before we can say yes, we accept. Because otherwise, you don't know what you're getting. You get empty shells and so on. I know that is not the case with DAHEI because they did speak with us to find out information about the specifications. So thank you, express our thanks to Ms. Laron, Dr. Laron Richards in Massachusetts. I remember speaking with her on the phone as we were getting ready to get us these things. And also tell her she has to express our thanks, and we will write to Pfizer, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the US, and they are able to give to countries like ours and communities like ours. So we want to thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Chief. At this point, we will do token presentations to Ms. Vida George and our principals who are present. So Mrs. Lara, as she's told you, several of our schools, our primary schools and our early childhood centers are benefiting from these products. So this really is just a sample of what they will receive.
the laptop now. Put the laptop on the chair over there. Behind you. Yeah.
And this is the gallery. You can't give it to me?
No, we don't use the keyboard. Where's the keyboard? We're not keyboard this time. Use the keyboard. Yes, it's ready and behind.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Laron. And finally, to end our short ceremony, Press, I'm sure you're happy with that. I call on Mr. Francis John Lewis, who will give a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Duran. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, on behalf of the Early Childhood Education, on behalf of the principals in the primary schools and education in Dominica, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude and thanks to the Laron Foundation for this timely donation. Indeed, as in the Ministry of Education, we continue to engage our students through technology. The hardware for implementing the school curriculum through technology in our schools is certainly a cost factor for the Ministry of Education and for the schools. And so your foundation, in taking time to consider the Ministry of Education and the schools in Dominica, you have made a direct contribution to education and to the students who are at a loss in terms of economics, in terms of obtaining that type of hardware in their homes. And so we do thank you extensively for this donation. We wish the Laron Foundation success in your endeavors. We ask you to continue to remember the schools around Dominica, and we know that at this time only a few schools will be receiving this hardware, but we, in your continued efforts in the future, we ask that you remember the other schools, and that as God blesses you, as you're blessed with more, that you can continue to support our efforts in Dominica as we continue to promote education through the use of technology. Once again, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, we thank you very much.
Plenty money, good. A lot of money.
Yes, you mentioned.
Items will be what?
21 computers and 2 laptops, among other supplies.
Maybe 50,000, something like that.
What? 60,000.
And then we do have other school supplies.
Yeah, there's a lot of other schools out there.
Yes, folders, binders,
Notebooks,
pens, pencils,
Play-Doh, etc. Okay, so as we end, I'd like to, you guys are really here in your numbers this morning, and we appreciate it as a ministry. It's a busy time for the Ministry of Education, so we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Thank you for coming as always.